overthinking is something that I constantly deal with, and obviously it's a lot better now, and I feel like I can confidently talk about it, that I know how to control something that I know isn't true, or just things that I shouldn't even be stressing about. But I think it's important to just not lose yourself in the sense of like, you don't believe the things that you're thinking, and thoughts are just thoughts, and reality is reality, and sometimes thoughts aren't really reality. And I think it's really important that we talk about stuff like this, because we might, bring our own self-esteem down by thinking things that aren't true about ourselves, that make us feel like we're just different people, and we're living this life that we think that we should be living, but in reality we're just telling ourselves that, and it just doesn't really come true, or we just expect the unexpected. And at the end of the day, all that stuff just is in our minds, and there's so many ways you can overcome it, but we tend to think that it's hard, or we get right back to the reason why that we're thinking about that thing, or the what ifs, and the it's going to happen, and just overall stuff. So I wanted to talk about this because I feel like this is something that I recently went through for the longest time, and I feel like one of the main ways to get over it is by talking about it. So I want to talk about my experience in the sense of like what I was, stuff I was just thinking about myself, and then how I can overcome that. And for the longest time, I was unmotivated to do certain things, and I was just beating myself down, and nobody else. It was just me in my head, just telling myself, hey, like, you're not enough, you're not worth it, in a sense. You're not going to really do anything, you're at this age and you haven't really accomplished this and that. And a lot of the main things that really calmed me down, in a sense, well, just calmed my mind down thinking about this, is I always challenge the negative thoughts. Now, when you challenge negative thoughts about yourself, there's ways of doing it so you don't have to ask yourself, oh, well, question, what if? You gotta eliminate the what if in your head, like, oh yeah, like, I don't know, like, I'm not dumb in school because I'm getting this money, but what if I do this that makes it go lower? You gotta eliminate that what if, because if you think about the what if, you're gonna go back into the cycle of being, just saying whatever your mind has been telling you. And separate thinking from overthinking. Now, thinking is something that you lead to solutions. How could you, when you think about how you could, find solutions to stop overthinking, you'll know what you need to do, in a sense of like, okay, like, I just gotta stop telling myself like, hey, like, this is wrong, this is not who I am, this is not my values or my morals. And when you overthink, you're just thinking about what if, what if, what if, what if. And the thing is I think that the word what if is something that we say so much in our head, that always constantly puts us in the loop of things that what if reality will turn into this. And the issue with that is because we're saying what if, that reality, it's not that it's becoming a reality, but it's making us think that it might happen. So it's putting ourselves down, which is impacting our life mentally and sometimes maybe physically. And you need to practice to have like a mindful mind space, because staying in the moment is what's going to keep you grounded. Like, if you like a certain thing, like, I really like chocolate, but I don't want to like white chocolate in whatever the distant future. Right now you like dark chocolate, okay? You like dark chocolate, you're not going to change for white chocolate later on, okay? Like, right now that's what you like, and you just need to accept that right now this is what it is. And if it were to happen, then you just need to accept. I know it sounds like, oh shit, like, I don't want to accept something that's not, I don't want it to become a reality, but telling yourself that, okay, well, if it happens, then it happens. But it's not that it's going to happen, it's just that your mind is already in panic mode that it might happen. So just saying, all right, like, if it happens, it happens, like, you can't really change it. But deep down, it won't. And it might sound like, well, what do you mean? Like, well, what if it does? Well, that's the thing. That quote that I just said, what if it does, is the what if that I was saying to stop thinking about, because you keep saying, what if it happens? You need to eliminate that word and just say, you know what? If it happens, it happens. And then 99% of the time, or I would even say 100, it's not going to happen, because you know that it's just you overthinking in your OCD, and it's just shit like that. And I think it's important to talk about it, because you need to realize that this is like, if you keep thinking and dwelling on something, you're gonna lose yourself. You're gonna just lose your mind, and you're gonna be so different until you realize like, oh shit, like these are just thoughts. And thoughts are just thoughts. Like they don't need to be something that's real. Like people say, oh, you can manifest things. It's not how it works. If you fear something, then it's not like it's going to actually happen. You're like, if you didn't fear anything, then I feel like you'd be manifesting the fact that, it's going to happen. But if the manifest, I would say, when it comes to having negative thoughts, is you having a negative life, meaning that you're gonna be like beating yourself down, you're gonna dwell, you're gonna have low self-esteem and all that stuff. So realistically, you're not manifesting positivity, you're manifesting negativity in your life. And I think that it's really important to take in considerations that you are just you know who you are at the end of the day, and your mind is playing these games on you because you're thinking about something, and because you're thinking about something, you're activating like a fight or flight moment. And I saw a video years ago, and what really helped me like be like, why am I stressing about something so ridiculous when it can be like, people have it way worse, is think about it like this way. Let's just say you're someone that it's in college, or you're someone that lives in home and you're in college, and your mom makes you dinner, or you go and make yourself dinner. Your mom gives you money, it doesn't matter. You have a job, you make dinner, you make everything. And this is an old thing that people used to say, like, oh well, kids in Africa don't have food, blah 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 blah. Imagine what they're going through compared to what you might be going through. And I know it might sound toxic in a sense of like, well, everyone's different, everyone lives different lives, but they probably like wish to trade lives with you when it comes to, they'd rather stress about the long 8-page assignment rather than, having to not have any food, and just overall anything that you might be stressing about when you think about it. And it's important to keep in mind that obviously that's not going to cure you from having overthinking, but it's just like, at least you should tell yourself like, hey, like this isn't, what I'm thinking about isn't the worst thing at the end of the day. And you need to challenge yourself and take action. Now, when I say overthinking is something that can change you, like it can make you lose your mind, you need to point the things why it's making you like stress about it. Like what is it stemming from? And I'm not saying you need to go look for it and get something over with, but let's just say you're fearing again something, like you're fearing that you're gonna get skinny because you're someone that's really buff and eats a certain amount of calories every day, but you're so afraid of you being skinny one day and you're gonna lose all your gains. So why would you you need to find the stems why. Well, okay, well, I fear that I'm gonna get skinny because if I do this, do that. And it's not like you're going to do it, but you got to realize that if it were to happen, it's fine. So you're going to find that like stemming like, okay, so I fear it because when I was skinny, or if I get skinny, I feel this and that. The thing is, you need to accept. And that's the thing. If you were to get skinny, you need to accept that that is a reality and you can't change the reality, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen. I'm not saying that like, hey, if it were to, but this goes with what I was saying, like just accepting things and not saying what if, because it's not going to happen. Obviously it's not going to happen. You get like, it can't change who you are. If you're someone that has to eat a certain amount of calories every day to stay how huge you are, and it's not like it's going to actually happen where you don't eat that much, then why are you stressing about it, right? So just keep doing what you're doing and just accept, like, if I get skinny, I get skinny. And I hope it like kind of like makes sense what I'm saying. It's just, you got to accept that if it were to be a reality, it's not going to be a reality. All you need to do is accept that if it were to be a reality, then it is what it is. You can't change, because you fear that if something becomes a reality, people are going to not respect you, or your values is just worth nothing, and you're hiding something. You're not hiding anything. You're stressing about having, maybe you have something that you don't. Okay, you don't have anything to hide. You know who you are at the end of the day, and nothing's going to change you as a person. And I think that these are very like important things to talk about, because again, we stress about the unknown, we stress about fear, and because of that, whatever we fear is going to dwell on us. Just accept it, and it's not going to happen. Just recognize that no one's perfect, and just trust yourself. your gut feeling is always going to be honest with you. Even when I had the most like mental health struggles when it came to certain things and thoughts, my gut feeling always reassured me. Even when I was at the lowest of like, oh shit, like this is going to happen. No, you know, your gut feeling will tell you. And when your gut feeling knows something is right, at the end of the day, there's another voice that's going to tell you, hey, you're just stressing about something that you shouldn't be. But either way, I don't want to drag this, any longer. And I hope this helps you and helps someone. Please let me know if there's anything I could have talked about. I'm probably going to talk about this topic at another time and another point, because I feel like there's a lot more I could have talked about. But I don't drag it out longer. It's been Fellow. I hope you enjoyed, and stay smart.